All right, welcome back, everybody, for another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the article and video that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those books that are still probably buried in those cheap boxes, those discount bins, those dollar boxes, wherever you find your cheap comics. These are some things you should be on the lookout for this weekend, based on some of the recent news, some of the rumors, announcements, things going on in the comics, etc. These are things that I'm going to be looking for, and I think is part of like a fun little scavenger hunt that you could be looking for these books too. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Check out our memberships, as we have some membership-only content going out to you guys and on a weekly basis now. I'm trying to get in a good rhythm of coming up with that extra bit of content, and I'm just having a whole heck of a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the ride as well. And if you want to know what books I got for you this week, all you got to do is just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Okay, so for this week, I don't have a long list of books for you. It just wasn't a lot going on this week that tied into what we can go and dig for and look for. So I have a few things I want to bring up, but it might be on the shorter side this week. Starting off with a book we reviewed on the Tax Show this week. I felt lost reading this most recent issue of Daredevil. While I have been getting and collecting all these Daredevil issues, I have not been keeping up on my reading. So in reading this most recent issue number 8, without any knowledge of what was been going on in the story beyond the basis understanding that he's going up against the Punisher, there was just a lot going on. A lot of characters popping up, a lot of like appearances. We had like Speed Demon, to me, was like out of nowhere. There was Agonies. We had symbiotes. There was a lot of strange to me, cameos popping up in this book because I didn't see the previous issues where he broke them out of prison or whatever. That said, looking at this most recent issue of Daredevil, again, it's Daredevil 8. This is wrapping up the little battle between the Hand and the Fist. So Daredevil and Elektra going up against the Punisher and the Hand. In this book, we see a few characters, and some characters I think we shouldn't forget about. Like the current, I guess, leader of the Hand, which is this character, Aka. Is I'm saying her name right? Aka? I don't know how you would say, but she's there in all dressed in black, this female character attacking Stick in these these panels here, and then she fights and actually wounds Elektra. So she's pretty skilled and pretty deadly as a character. And she hasn't been around for all that long, but you can still find her first appearance for very, very cheap. Again, she seems to have been created as sort of a foil, a villain, just for Elektra. So we did see her first appear in this book, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. And this book has multiple covers, multiple variants like these. You got there's the main cover, you got which I think it's Chris Bacalo, and then you got the Brian Hitch, then Todd Nauck did this headshot cover. Again, these are regular release variants. We also got this one here. Then there's a second printing as well. There's also a pretty awesome 1 in 50 Jen Bartel, but you're not going to find that at Dollar Bin. But you might find any of these covers, any of these regular issue variant type covers, including the second print, which has a pretty cool Craven cover. You might find these in those cheap boxes and discount bins. And in this issue, and it's not just a couple of panels, it's a pretty solid first appearance. We do get introduced to Aka, or however you say her name, as she introduces herself as, with the Hand to Elektra. And like I said, she's pretty skilled right from the outset. And also, as I mentioned, this book is not expensive. This is not an expensive first appearance. Look, there's copies of this sold $2, $1, $3. Again, multiple covers, not expensive sales. Even the asking prices on this, $4, $2, like, it's not a pricey book. So you can probably find it in those overstocked discount boxes, whether they be $1, $2, half cover, whatever it might be. This is the kind of cheap stuff that's probably still out there somewhere. So I don't know, maybe consider it. Because again, it looks like this character might be hanging around for a little bit longer than you might have expected. Like beyond that Daredevil Woman Without Fear mini, which was only a few issues, she's still lingering around. And again, it looks like the storyline is going to continue, because as the way Daredevil 8 left off, she had her necklace stolen, so she's going to have to be coming back for that. That all said, she's not the only one that I thought was interesting in that Daredevil book. Again, most of the weird cameos of like Stiltman and Stegron, like some of those are going to be kind of tougher books. Even Speed Demon, like those are old books, and you're not going to find them like in dollar bins. But some of these villains they were facing off against, like Aka or Aka, whatever her name is, but also this character, Bullet, who was facing off against Detective Cole North in another bit of this storyline here. So this Daredevil villain, Bullet, showed up first in Daredevil 250. All right, so in this issue of Daredevil, we do have the first appearance of this villain, Bullet, and you can see him right there on the cover. Granted, he doesn't look exactly like he does now, today, because, this was decades ago now at this point, but right there on the cover, it's even on the cover. Can even Daredevil halt the rampage of Bullet? When they used to do introductions and actually have the characters' names on the covers, so you didn't have to go digging through the book to see some cameo that they're going to drag out for 4 issues so they can sell more comics. We're not going to complain about first appearances and how they come about these days. Back in the day, it was a lot simpler. Right here, Bullet, front and center, right on the book. Made it nice and easy to find. That said, this is not an expensive book. This is just a fun one you can go dig out. Look, copies have sold for as cheap as $5 to like $8. Like, it's not an expensive book. Some people list it as first appearance of Bullet. Most don't even bother acknowledging that fact. And you can see here some asking prices too. Same kind of deal. Prices like $3, $4, $8 is really the tops. Not an expensive book. I'm not saying it should be an expensive book. This is just kind of one of those fun little odd appearances that you can go and scoop up out there. Again, for like $1 or $2. So that's what I'm talking about. Now, we're going to pivot to some weird waters for you guys. This is probably stuff that you normally don't think about or go and collect because most of you are probably close to my age, so you're not going to be collecting these kids' books. But doesn't mean you should ignore them. A lot of these kids' stories are coming back, like this one, with Dynamite returning to the Lion King and giving Scar, his own origin series here. Now, I was going to say ongoing, but his own origin series. So the origins of Scar. I don't know if this is going to be any good. I don't know if anybody's going to be into it, but they might be. I do like this Nakayama cover, though. And there are a bunch of covers because it's Dynamite. So there's going to be covers galore. Here, there, everywhere. All these different artists. Variants A, B, C, D, G, E, and F. Different versions and color variations and virgins and black and whites and sketches. It's going to be a nightmare. I don't even know which ones might be the RI. Or what the ratios might be. Who knows? But see here, there's a whole pile of covers, and this series is coming up soon, focusing on Scar. Now, if you're interested in Scar, you'd probably guess that he first showed up in the adaptation of the movie, right? I mean, he kind of has to. Plus, he's right there on the first issue here. So if you go back to the Marvel Comics, I think I might have mentioned these before, the Marvel Comics adaptations of The Lion King. So it's there's only 2 issues. Issues 1, issue 2, they go together. You can sometimes find these in like those little 2-packs. They're still kind of sealed that you would have gotten from like a Toys R Us or some other department store because they used to sell comic books like this, like in those little packaged, little packs, comic packs. And you'd flip it over on the back and it would list what's inside of it. Yeah, they were kind of fun. Sometimes you can still find sealed one of those out there. Like sometimes they're at shops. Other times you might find in things like that, like the flea market. But generally, they're not expensive. And even now, this is not that inexpensive of a book. Maybe there's a high print run, and that's why I would think there would be more demand for something like this because it is, I guess it would probably be the first appearance. I mean, when else would The Lion King showed up before the adaptation of the movie? Because this came out right around that. I think it was 94. So right around when the movie was out, like they had the comic adaptation. So I don't think there's going to be an appearance before this, but I don't know that for certain. Just saying, I know these exist. I've seen these. I bought these. Found these, especially when the Lion King, the live action reboot, if you can call that live action, the CGI reboot. These got a little bit of notice again. So maybe the Scar comic will bring that. And if you look at these prices, you can see it's not that expensive. Issue 1, it's like $5 to $8. You can get the pair for like $10. Not an expensive book at all as far as what's been selling. Asking prices again, $5 to $8. Not pricey. There's a 9.0 that's asking $50. So, there is that. But just a fun thing to get. Fun thing to go out and look for. Fun thing for you to go and hunt and see if you can go and find it. Just like while you're in the kids section, while you're going to be there already looking for the Lion King, why not take a look for Toy Story? Because we did get the news that they're making a Toy Story 5. So they're going back to the well and giving us yet another Toy Story movie. So renewed interest could be coming for Toy Story. And here, I got a few things you can go and look for. If you want to go and look for like those magazines, those kinds like appearances, well, then you probably want to grab this. This is Disney Adventures that you can see here. It's the movie preview. So it's even before the movie came out. Here's a movie preview with Buzz and Woody right there on the cover. This was December 1995. I believe the movie came out in 96, like the summertime. So here's a preview edition you're getting in this holiday, toy special. Plus, you get some toys. These things are out there. Go flip through a magazine. Maybe you can go and find it. Once again, not an expensive thing, but still could be worth picking up. You can see copies sold for like $13, and then there's a lot with this one with a couple other mags for $18. So again, you're not going to get rich, but still kind of a fun little thing to find. And if you're shopping online, there's copies as cheap as $5, $10, $13. That's really the kind of asking price range on this. And this is a magazine. Let's keep that in context. This is a magazine. If you are determined to find the comic, well, I think the way this played out was this one was first. Disney Comic Hits was like a series of different Disney comic characters, and there was different like issues. I think at least two of these are Toy Story. This is issue 4, and I think it's the first one where you're starting off with Woody and Buzz. And I think there's another one later on, like issue 15 or something, maybe even more than one. But there's a few different things. And the Disney comic hits, they hit up a few different properties. So it wasn't like one adaptation of one thing. It was like a few different things. And anytime you find them, I think it's kind of fun anyway to go and dig these things out. And I think this one came, I believe, first. And I think this was also right around the movie time. So after that magazine, but pretty early on. You can see here a copy sold for the best offer off of $40. I don't know what the accepted price was, but they were asking $40. They sold it. They also sold this as a newsstand because there is a newsstand version which just has the barcode, and then there is a direct edition which also has a barcode, but it says direct edition down there in the UPC box. Asking prices, you can see $7, $10, $12, not a ton, but that's what this one has asking prices for right now. Now, this cover is also reused when they do the actual adaptation of the movie. And Marvel did do a 2-issue little, I don't want to say series, but 2-issue adaptation of the movie. And they used this cover art again. So it's very easy to confuse the two. But I believe these ones came after. I think these were listed as definitely in 1996. And I think these came after. I don't remember the publishing dates. But I think the greatest hits came first, and then these came after, if I'm not mistaken. And then, like I said, there's 2 issues here. 1, 2. You see the covers. It looks like the movie stuff, but these are comics. And then you can see the asking price or the sale prices here. Best offer on $25, $10.50, $10. And those sales that I'm showing you here are actually of those packs that I talked about. Just like the Lion King, they also had packs for these Toy Story books where they were kind of put together in little cardboard and then clear plastic wrap, shrink wrap kind of thing. And it had the 2-pack. It's like a comic 2-pack. You can see there's still plenty of them out there unopened. And you can probably still find them that way too. And they go anywhere from like $10 to $25. That's what's sold. Asking prices, you can see here, kind of all over. There's an auction for one of those 2-packs that's starting at $15. There's a buy it now asking $38 for one of those 2-packs. And then that single issue alone, even though it says 1 and 2, I guess it's the 2 issues, but it's loose. It's not in the pack. Also asking $35. I don't know if that's just because of the hype of the movie announcement, and that's where the prices got raised up, or if it's just a matter of this is one of those oddball things where the cheap ones sell, and then the more pricey ones kind of sit and linger for a while until the demand catches up to them. I don't know, but there's your ranges. All I'm saying is look for this for $1 or so. Don't go paying market prices for this stuff because you're probably not going to see a return. But if you grab it for $1, it could be kind of fun, and maybe you can flip it and make a few bucks. Just saying. Now, the other thing, and I've talked about these ones before. I don't remember if it was on Hidden Gems or Dollar Bin Digging before. I don't remember, but I know I've talked about the Boom series for these as well because these actually had RIs. And, I'm always interested in oddball variants. And I think I bought an oddball variant or 2 just for cheap. But anyway, Boom had an 8-issue run on Toy Story as well. But this was closer to like, 2010, 2012, somewhere in that range. I don't remember the year exactly, but well beyond when the movie came out. This is well after. And again, this is like a decade ago. But you can see here, issue 1, pretty cool. Cover A, there's a cover B, and then there's an incentive edition. That's what I'm showing you for issue 1. This is an 8-issue series, and I believe all 8 had that kind of layout. I think there were 2 covers, and then there might have been an incentive for most. And just keep an eye out for them because, oddball incentives for kids' books are not going to be easy to find and will be worth your time, I think, if you can track them down. Just a fun little thing to collect. That said, just to give you kind of example, what kind of ranges, these are just random issues from the 8-issue run that I grabbed here. You can see that looks like issue 4 up at the top. Then there's the free comic book day issue there in the middle, and then down below is issue 1. All like $7 to $10 here. A couple of those were best offers on $10, so I don't know the exact accepted price, but you get the idea. What's asking? Asking, however, issue 1, that cover A, $15. Random issue 7B, so variant for the 7th issue there, asking $13. And then you can find the variant for issue 0, somebody's asking $85. So prices can be all over. Point being, look for them for $1 or $2. Cheap stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Dig for it in the cheap boxes and see if you get lucky. Now, that's all I got for you, the kids section. Kids section is done. And this last one is going to be a tougher ask, but I feel like you still got an opportunity. I still think there's an opportunity to be had for this next issue because I feel like this was speculated on years ago and then completely forgotten about. But we finally got news that they're going to be making an animated series based off of Snyder and Jock's Witches. So it's going to be an animated series at Amazon. And I don't discount that. I mean, I really like Invincible. I really like Vox Machina. I do like the animated stuff. Castlevania over on Netflix. Fantastic. Not discounting because it's animated, but a lot of people don't use their wallets when it comes to animated stuff. Just saying, it doesn't always drive the market that strongly, but we'll see what happens with this one. Prices are already starting to bounce back up, but there is a chance that in that lull, the last couple of years has been a lull. Nobody's been looking for witches or talking about witches. Could have found its way back in those cheap boxes. So go and dig. Maybe go and find them again. And I'm talking about here, issue 1, first issue. You can see what's been selling. These are recent sales again because the news was just this week. So it's selling again for like $20 to $25. Asking prices are hitting that same $20 to $25 kind of range. Look there. Somebody actually has a stack of 10 for $125. 10 copies of this. And that's what I'm also talking about. This was not a low printed thing. This was kind of a big deal even when it was released. People were interested in this. They're like, oh, it's Scott Snyder. It's a new Snyder thing. Witches, Jock, awesome. This was decent. I want to say heavily, decently ordered. So you can see even people have 10 copies just lying around. They're trying to sell in a lot of 10. Copies are out there. And the chances are some of those found their way back in those cheap boxes. That's what I'm saying. And apart from that, you can find the rest of the run. I think it was only 6 issues, right? Something like that. You can probably find the rest of the run, including the second print for issue 1. There's another one you always want to keep an eye out for, just in case. And you can see here, there's the second print. It says it right there on the front, on the front, issue 1, I believe. I think it's the second, second printed. It's really tough to read on my screen because it's like typeface and kind of faded. But that said, price-wise, what's sold? Best offer on $14, $18. Somebody bought one for $5. Not too bad, not too expensive. Asking prices, however, in that like $13 to $18 kind of range. So, if you can find one, you might be able to make a couple of bucks. Once again, this is not stuff that's going to make you rich. This is just kind of fun little scavenger hunt type things that I think you should just be keeping an eye out for. And like I said, this is topical stuff. This is the stuff that was just happened this week, either in the comics that released this week or the news that we got this week. So that's what I'm basing this stuff off of and give you just something to go look for. To keep this hobby, kind of fun. And that's what it should be, right? That said, thanks for stopping by and checking this out. Hopefully you're still enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Should have another members video dropping tomorrow as well as MCM, Mail Call Madness. Jedi and Dom got a new video for you tomorrow night as well. Saturday night special, live show on Saturday. We are recording a show for Star Wars on Sunday because it is the Super Bowl. And I get it. So you guys might not even be able to watch it when it drops, but we're still going to drop it in its normal spot. It's just going to be recorded because of the Super Bowl. And then next week, the whole schedule starts up again. Hidden Gems, Chasing Ghosts, the Tack Show, all the stuff that I know you guys love watching and enjoy. And I'm still mixing in the Gaming Gold, the Hidden Gems for video games. I'm telling you, go check it out. If you haven't watched those yet, go check them out because there's stuff you can find that you can make a few bucks on too if you see this stuff out there. So don't ignore it just because, I don't collect video games. You don't have to collect video games. Just check it out. Maybe you'll see something I'll be nostalgic about. Maybe you'll see something like, oh, I think I've seen that. Like when I was out at the flea market, I think I've seen that game. Make yourself a few dollars and go and grab some of this stuff. Just put it in your Rolodex so you know for the next time. And I got more toy rundowns to do as well. A lot of stuff. And then all the daily shorts. I got daily shorts still scheduled out through Valentine's Day, and I'm going to do a few more up to get them ready to roll. And like I said, I'm having fun doing this. Hopefully you're having fun watching this stuff and joining me on the live shows and in the live chats when I premiere the shows. And I'll see you guys soon with some more content. All right, later.